Knights Media Network. I'm Casey Huff, and I'm here with Maddie Spalding and Drea White, our 2025 Knights of Honor. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. How are you doing? Good. Okay, so I want to start, Maddie, we can start with you. Talk about some things you've been involved in while you've been at Bellarmine. Kind of talk about some of the main stuff you've done, side things you've done, different things like that.
Sure, I've been able to be a part of a lot of different things. In my 4 years of being here, the first one that comes to mind is a week of welcome. So I've been an orientation leader and been on the executive team of that for 2 years, and it was just a great experience being able to welcome 500 new first-year students every year. So that's been an incredible opportunity. Been a part of BU Leads, which is like a leadership organization on campus where we plan different retreats and banquets across the year. Oh goodness, I've been a part of Economics and Finance and Investing Club, and being in that and making connections within my career path. Been in the honors program and Bellarmine Society, you know, all kinds of different things while I've been here. Oh, and I'm a student athlete, so I've played golf here as well. So all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. You're busy all the time.
All the time.
Okay, Drea, what about you?
Same thing. First thing that comes to mind is residence life. So I've been an RA on campus for like the past 3 years, and this year, instead of serving as an RA, I'm serving as the senior RA. So I kind of help mentor and guide RAs and like building their floors and building connections and all that. And then I've been on SJ for all 4 years, and this year I'm on the exec board, and I'm the VP of DEI, and so that's really fun. And then on top of that, I'm a member of BSU ASA, which is African Student Association, and then MAPS, which is Multicultural Association of Pre-Med Students. And then I'm also in Bellarmine Society. And yeah, I think that's all.
That's a lot of things. That's a lot of things to remember. Your email signature must be insanely long.
I don't even know that I have one. I can't do it.
It's too long. Yeah, so all of you guys have obviously done a lot of things. How did that kind of shape you deciding to apply for Knight of Honor as a senior?
Sure. Well, Knight of Honor is all about like you representing Bellarmine in multiple different ways, and so we've both been able to kind of reach across the campus community in a lot of different ways. That's kind of why I applied, of like just reading the requirements of like, oh, well, I've done that, like might as well put your name in and kind of get some validation for all the stuff that we've been able to do while we're here.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think Knight of Honor is all about acknowledging those students who have really been a part of what Bellarmine is and like participated in making Bellarmine not only a home for themselves but a home for others and prospective students. But I also think there's a level, like students in those areas, there's a level of like not appreciating yourself and not really recognizing that you deserve that. So like I was kind of like hesitant to apply. I was like, I'm not gonna do it, like no way I'm getting that. But then everyone was like, Drea, do it. So I was like, all right. And so I did it.
No, 100%. And I was going to ask, so did you all kind of have this personal goal of like, I want to apply for Knight of Honor, this is something I want to do, or was there someone else that was like kind of pushing you to like do it because they thought you deserved it? Because I think it's easy to kind of get imposter syndrome when you're doing all these things and you're like, no, I'm just doing it because I should, and it doesn't feel as much like an accomplishment, if that makes sense. So like, was someone encouraging you, or?
I think for me it was definitely encouragement, because I just was like this is a great, amazing thing, and whoever gets it, they're a great, amazing person, but not me. Like, I'm not gonna do it. But like I said, I had a bunch of people coming to me and being like, Drea, just do it, like just apply. And so I was like, okay, I'll apply.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. I turned in my application like last night. Like the last night that it was open, I like turned it in, but yeah, just a lot of support from the people that you kind of interact with. They're like, Maddie, like you got to do it. So like very similar to Drea,
Yeah. So kind of going with that, when you started to apply, can you guys kind of just talk about like what that application process looked like, what all you went through to get to the point that you were chosen to be on court?
Sure. So it's just an application on Engage, and so you upload your resume. There's like 2 essays that we wrote, and then you just answer some questions about your involvement. So there's 2 different essays. They really related to just kind of the values of Bellarmine and how you best aligned with those.
Yeah, and then I think we had to talk about the impact Bellarmine had on us, and then the impact we hope to leave on Bellarmine. And then the next step of that was being interviewed by this panel that was made up of like alumni and previous Knight of Honor court members. And then I think that was it. And then after that, you were selected for court.
Yep. So they select 10 people for court, correct?
Yep.
So kind of talk about, you guys got selected for court. How did you find that out?
It was a surprising email.
Yeah, it was an email, and it was like a Monday morning email, which was like really funny because it's like the start of your week. So you wake up and boom, either you are or you aren't. So
It's a good way to start your week, though.
Yeah.
great way.
It was a great way to start the week.
Yeah, so everyone finds out that they're on court, and then kind of talk about what happens in between them choosing court and the homecoming game where they announce who wins.
Sure. So like within that email of being on the court, they listed a whole schedule of stuff that we needed to be a part of. And so it started with the President's Toast up in Dr. Donovan's office with previous winners. So that was really cool, have a champagne toast with Dr. Donovan and winners. And then do you want to talk about the rest of that? After
Yeah,
that?
so we did the toast, and then the day of the homecoming dance, we all met up and went out to dinner together, and that was pretty nice, hanging out with everyone. And then we went to the dance together, and then of course there was the homecoming game, and then that's where we found out who was going to be the Knight of Honor.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're actually going to cut to the moment that they decided and announced the winners of the game, and then we'll kind of talk about that moment for you guys.
The 2025 Knights of Honor are Maddie Spaulding, Andrea White. Please come to center court to be guided by Dr. Donovan and Dr. Nancy.
Okay, so it's obviously a very exciting moment for you guys. Can both of you kind of talk about like what went through your head through walking onto the court and they're announcing everybody and then they call your name? Can you just talk about all the emotions that came with that?
They were just so emotional.
It was extremely emotional. Like, I'm sure you could tell by like the pictures of both of our faces. We're like, our jaws just dropped, and we're like, no freaking way. But I honestly I was scared, I was excited, but I think a part of me also just felt like very proud in that moment, just because it's like finally it's something like, wow, I have done a lot here, and I'm very happy that I got to like play the roles that I played. But Maddie got announced first, and honestly, I was just super happy for Maddie. Like, when they said Maddie's name, I'm like, oh my gosh, Maddie, yay! Because like, I think of Maddie, and I'm like, oh, that is Bellarmine. Like, I cannot imagine a Bellarmine without Maddie. Like, whether she wants to admit it or not, like, she's had a hand in every first year's experience on this campus. And so I think she was extremely deserving. And then to be standing there cheering on Maddie, and then they call my name, I'm like, oh my God, no way. And then in the video, I think we like run towards each other.
Oh yeah.
That was such a beautiful moment for me, because it was like, I don't know, I just think we were so connected, and like our surprise and like overwhelming joy for each other to like share the moment together.
Yeah.
So that's my
Freya.
take. Oh, it was crazy.
Thank you so much. I remember walking out onto the court and like seeing there's a few people in front of me that walked in, and I'm just looking at, like, I can see my parents and my grandparents and friends that were in the stands, and so I just remember being really emotional that all of them were there to kind of celebrate that moment together with me. And so I was just remember being really nervous and like, don't trip, and like just kind of walk to the spot, and then I remember sitting there waiting, and then just the utter shock of hearing my name first and being like, oh my gosh, what? And so I start walking, and then they say Drea's name, and I'm like, yes! And then, but like, Drea's standing right there, and so I just remember like not even thinking, and just not even going to Dr. Donovan, just running straight to Drea. like just embracing in that moment and celebrating together, and that was just such a surreal moment. I just remember just having so much pride and excitement around it, and that just like everything that we've done over those last 4 years, like the students that voted for that, like recognize that, like that's just unbelievably awesome. And I was just so surprised in that moment, but just so excited for both of us.
Yeah, extremely heartwarming.
Yeah, and I think anybody that was at the game, I was there, and anybody that even saw the video, like you can just see like the genuine excitement of everybody. Even the people who didn't get it, like you can just see like how excited they are for the people that got it. And I think that's such a beautiful thing too, is it's not like a competition. It's almost just like everyone's being recognized for all the things that they've done, and like everyone's just happy for each other. And I think that's such a cool, like that's a cool thing to be a part of, honestly. And it's a cool thing to watch too, like just to see all these people that are just so excited and happy for each other. Like that's such a cool thing. I think that's what's cool about Bellarmine, is like you get that excitement for other people, and it doesn't feel as competitive, which I think is really cool. So congratulations to both of you for that. That's a really big achievement. You guys should be super proud. What do you guys get for winning that?
Sure. We got a cutie little trophy.
A trophy.
And then it's a $500 stipend.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Well, congratulations. Kind of talk about graduation's kind of coming up. I know nobody wants to talk about that, but it's coming up pretty fast. So kind of what's next for you guys?
Sure. Do you want to go first? or-
Yeah, so I'm taking a gap year, and I'm kind of going to be just working at UofL Hospital, getting some clinical hours, and then after that, I'm going to try to apply to med school. So that's my next steps. So I'm super excited, nervous for that.
It's exciting.
Fair enough. I am also entering the job force right after graduation, getting some job experience, and then I want to pursue a PhD in economics, but need a little bit more work experience, maybe a few more math classes to be a really strong PhD candidate, but that's kind of where my future is going.
Very exciting. Both of
Very
you have
exciting.
very long educational careers ahead of you, but very
Yes.
exciting, very cool stuff. So as we're kind of getting towards the last couple months of your time at Bellarmine, what's one of your favorite memories that you've had here so far?
Oh gosh, there's so many.
There's so many, but I definitely know what I enjoyed the most. Okay, it's not a memory. It's probably my favorite event of all time. It's Silent Disco. I love it every single time. And like when we were getting interviewed, they asked us what our favorite event was, and I just went on this long tangent about Silent Disco, and I'm like, man, if I'm ever coming back to this campus, I'm coming back for Silent Disco because it's just a great time.
Yeah.
So
It's never not fun. Every silent disco I've ever been to has been a blast. Like I've never
Exactly.
not enjoyed it.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Oh, I would probably say at the end of orientation, we always do like a big reflection time. We call it campfire, but it's a reflection for all like 80 orientation leaders and the leadership team to have a discussion about how the week went, how we feel. And that's always just such an emotional, like hour, 2 hours of time, and just everyone appreciates each other so much. So I think when I think about my favorite memories, I've participated in 3 of those, and it's just such an incredible like atmosphere and feeling.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to like what you guys were talking about with Night of Honor. It's just like everyone genuinely just like supports each other and is there for each other. And I feel like there's so many different times you can talk about at Bellarmine where you've had those moments, and I think that's such a
yeah.
beautiful thing. What would be a piece of advice that you would give to somebody that's an upcoming senior?
Do it all. Like, have no regrets. Like, you've got 1 year left of your undergraduate experience. Like, do everything that you possibly could want. Go to every sport on campus. Like, participate in all the clubs that you want. You know, like, do the best that you can for 1 more year. That's what
I
would say.
literally was thinking the exact same thing. Go to every single event, soak it all in, like show your vulnerability, like cry about it, laugh about it, just soak it all in because it's the last one, but it can be a good one. It doesn't have to be sad.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just soak it in.
Yeah.
And then just kind of to wrap up, we're talking about Night of Honor. People that are becoming seniors next year, would you recommend them applying and kind of talk about why? Why should they apply for it?
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
you might as well. Like you never, I feel like you never know the difference that you're making while you're doing it. And so it takes some like reflectiveness to really understand that. And it also takes the validation of your peers to really have you recognize that. So if you're doing stuff, you might as well apply because you never know.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I think it was like a good like personal health like thing because you really don't realize how much of an impact you have until you're forced to sit there and like think about it and write about it and just like list every single little thing that you can think about, and then you just realize like, wow, like I did not waste the last 4 years of my life. Like I did some cool things, and
Yeah,
so
you did.
I highly recommend doing
Yeah, and I think it is a good opportunity, like you said, just to kind of look at yourself and be like, I should be proud of myself. Like I didn't have to do all these things that I did, but I did, and I should be proud of that. And I think it kind of forces you
Yeah.
to like acknowledge your success and be like, I did all these things, and like I helped, like I did make an impact on Bellarmine. I think it's good for you all as much as it's everybody else.